Hello and welcome back to this series of videos where we're giving you some advice, some tips, some food for thought really on how to grow your business to a level where you're getting the kind of life that you really want. And this video we've called The Loneliness of the Business Owner. And you may recognise this situation, especially if you've got a growing business and especially if you've got a team. And the reality of being a business owner is that you have to be strong, you have to give out the calm presence that everything's going okay. You're familiar with the question, I'm sure, how are things going in the business? And naturally the answer is always going to be optimistic and positive. The reality is always going to be something different. It's not going to be perfect. And so like the swan swimming on the water, there's a lot going on underneath the water, and that's the reality that you're dealing with. Now typically that means that the business owner has to be coping with a lot of challenges, a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty, and that causes a lot of questions, difficult decisions, pressure, and of course a series of challenging emotions inside. So it's perfectly normal, of course, that this situation arises, because as a business grows, it's really important that the staff are reassured that things are going okay. And the bank manager who says they want to be your friend, but you know what's going to happen if they get wind or they get concerned about anything that's going on in the company. So it's completely normal that the owner has to give the outward presence and picture that it's all going very well. But inside, there's going to be this uncertainty, there's going to be this pressure that's felt. So what are the options? Well, you could think about sharing the challenges and some of the ideas with friends and family. But time with your friends is very precious, and the chances are you probably don't want to go into a load of detail with them. And it's also very common that you don't want to be burdening the family with any concerns and questions that you have. So it's an emotional as well as a practical challenge that business owners face. And the chances are, if you're watching this, that you're already either successful or you're on your way to becoming successful. And so you may recognise some of those pressures that I've described and those challenges that I've described. Well, if that's the case, you may be interested in this bit of recent research that came out from a government department. And they found that of the business owners who do not have a confidant, someone who they can confide in and share ideas with within the business, of those people, 23% of those are still growing their business, right? But interestingly, 44% of business owners who do have a confidant are growing their business. That's nearly twice as many. So it makes you think, doesn't it? It raises the question, well, actually, what's the benefit? What could I get out of sharing some of the challenges, having someone who I can confide in, who I can trust, who I can use as a sounding board to work through some of the ideas and the uncertainties that I've got in running my own business? Okay, so it certainly is a very worthwhile question to make you think, if you haven't got a confidant, are you one of the 23% who's growing it anyway? Or are you one of the 40-odd% or 30 to 40% who are not growing their business? And wouldn't you like to be part of if you're not, part of the 44% and more who are growing their business because they're getting the help of somebody as a confidant and a sounding board and somebody they can work through. So you get the double benefit of being able to share some of the concerns and the emotional stuff that you've got and the challenges, if that's the case, but also you've got somebody who you can work through the challenges with and get some new ideas or some better ideas, or removing the uncertainty about which way to go, what decision to make. I hope that's food for thought for you. I hope that makes you think and opened up some ideas. There are lots of very, very good people around who will be able to help you as good sounding boards. And I'd certainly encourage you to think about that if you haven't already done so, because that will help you, give you more certainty and help grow the business to get it to a level that will give you the life that you really want. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I hope you find that helpful, and I look forward to speaking to you next time.